Yeah, that's enough for the 100th episode. People should know at least because my side profile isn't coming.
How's your
Feels
freedom?
light.
Yeah, freedom, right?
Why are you laughing? Like
Because
it's
you looked really good with the long hair, and it's like I can see how it's shifted. How do you feel? Less empowered?
less empowering now.
You know, so sometimes I'm in my car in the trunk, and if I open it and there's like wigs, it just looks like a dead body. The Indian hair is really good in the sense of quality wise, but if you take hair and you take the root, which is like the top, and girls, it's like playing dress up. So if I tell a girl she gets to be like a Barbie for like the 5 different ones, and that will probably look good, she will get all of it, like an evening look or a day look, right? Or no makeup. With hair, even your own hair, if you color it, you're committed. If you cut it, you're committed. If you grow it, you're committed. When it comes to wigs, you suddenly aren't committed. It's very interesting.
Namaste everyone and welcome to this special episode. Special why? Because this is the 100th episode of 3XP podcast. A huge thank you to each one of you who has been part of this incredible journey, and we can proudly say that we are 100 not out. And on this special occasion we thought let's go international, and on this episode we have Devora Oseroff, who is the founder of WigWhoWigMe, an amazing wig business. So go watch this episode and let us know which part of this episode blew your hair back. This is with Kunal Raj and I see you in the episode. Enjoy. So Devora Oseroff, welcome to 3XP podcast, and today we are going to talk a lot about wigs, about the concept of exploring the world on purpose of work, and about business, about the creative side. So how have you been from the last time you crashed, right? So how have you been doing?
Good. Even when I crashed like a few days ago. Yeah. I'm trying not to crash again, but it was good. We did so much, and a lot of hair. Y'all
can rate the look of mine after
but this is only if someone knows you. If someone knows you, they'll know. But if someone doesn't know you,
no, it's been a long time. I had to grow my hair,
Oh yeah fast.
Yeah,
do you take like a pill or something? Well done. I like it, but it's been nice. I think working here in Goa is different than London, but we did so much shooting.
We worked last year also, right?
Yeah.
And it's fascinating how you can just connect through different countries and just work along and working. You can tell why you chose starting a wig business. People, this just a reveal, it is not my real hair.
It's not my real hair. Okay, this is also not my real hair.
So why especially like wig?
How to start?
You could start anything. What's the obsession with the wig?
That's a good way to put it, because I definitely am wig obsessed or hair obsessed, and I started when I was really young. So I mean, I've always liked hair, but when I started realizing I can make hair, so if I saw somebody, obviously now I can do it better, but I saw someone on the street and I like what I see, like she has really nice hair and it falls in a certain way. I was like, I want to make that. So then I go and I make it, and that's a very satisfying feeling. But that's my personal thing when it comes to the creative part. But when I started my Instagram, which is about 5 years ago, and I saw how many people are interested in wigs, more obviously with the hair loss thing, but it's just so fascinating that people can have that option. They can just go from a certain kind of hair to changing just like that, and to make it look natural just like that. That looks really good. I'm not gonna lie, that looks good.
Yeah, controlling your laughter.
Yeah. No, but how does it feel? How does it feel to wear?
As I told you, right, the guy, it feels empowering.
It does feel empowering.
I feel I should have a drum and I should start playing the drum.
Yes. And like also the comfort, it feels comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you start feeling like yourself.
As I told you, I would have never be able to grow so long.
No, the patience.
Yeah.
No patience.
But guys, just imagine like you enter a room and you see heads with, the wig and all.
Yeah.
It will be creepy for them, right?
For the
but
beginning.
Not for you.
No, me, I have hair.
What do you
everywhere.
call that? The head? Yeah, because like the entire body, we call it like a mannequin, right?
Yeah, so just the head.
Just the head.
Just the head. Which is, there's no words. It's all new. So there's like no words yet.
We have seen in the horror movies, they carry the head like this.
Yeah, so I've done that.
So
like,
you'll be carrying,
Yeah, I do that. Sometimes like when I go from like my studio to home and I'm working on a wig, so I have to take it with me and I have to hold it because I'm like mid working on it, and I walk out and I'm like, I feel so bad for whoever sees me because
Yeah.
that doesn't
If
look
you're
right.
walking in the dark, then it's a different.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
You know, so sometimes I'm in my trunk, like in my car in the trunk, and if I open it and there's like wigs there, it just looks like a dead body. Yeah, that's not cool. But I get used to it. Like you said, like I have hair everywhere and I'm used to handling it. Sometimes when people come in to the studio and they just see hair everywhere, like if you really think about it, like this is all different people's hair. And like in one wig there's many different people's hair because like the mixing. But yeah, I'm definitely used to it.
And it's actual hair, right? It's not that synthetic one.
No, it's all real natural hair. And even because that's how you can see how
I
it
really don't know whose hair I am wearing.
No, who's a bunch of people. You have like
this is
20.
like from which country now? Is this Indian or is it?
No, this is probably Brazil or Russia. Russia.
Hmm.
Yeah, you just like feel it. I can actually like the smell of hair has different from different countries, so you can. Does that sound weird? I know. I've been around a lot of hair, like for years. So
the first time when you told, right, that you are doing the wig business,
Yes.
I thought you'll be outsourcing. You'll be getting hair more from the
from here-
Indian.
yes.
But then you told me it is not because India is considered to be like the major exporter.
Yes.
I was just googling it. Told around 1,400 crores. That is 170 million of revenue just
Yes.
by exporting hair.
Yes, because I think here in India, like because of also the temples and how they do it, they're basically the Indian hair is really good in the sense of quality wise. But if you take hair and you take the root, which is like the top, and then the ends, and you mix them up, it'll create friction and you can't use it. So what they do here, because when you shave it, they hackle all the hair together, which is like kind of hackling. It's hard to explain it, but then they process it in like chemicals. And when you process it in chemicals, they kill the cuticles so they can use it. But that process brings the quality down because it's processed. And I like a lot of the natural movement. So the hair I get has to be raw. So the Indian raw hair is very hard to get, or almost I haven't found any. Like it's still considered raw. But also you can't color it as much as like this one's colored and the Indian hair is a lot stronger, so it's harder to color it. So that's the kind of reason why. But I think when I went to Chennai a few times and there's so much hair there, and really I found really nice hair as well. I can imagine that also again it's sourced worldwide for a lot of places where the extensions everywhere, it's known. Even in the UK I have a friend, she does wigs and she sources it from here. So
you also mentioned that you're manufacturing in China, right?
Yeah, so like when I went to Chennai for the factories there, because hair sourcing is so big here, so you have also a lot of factories in Chennai, and they're very different to the factories in China. So basically, China, I've been working with them for like years, and they create the lace part. So like I buy the hair and then I send it to China, and then they do the service, they send it back. And recently I went there to kind of speak to the factories and see what they can do in the sense of detail. But I find it difficult here or in China to work with factories because of the details I want that I can't have all the time, you know?
Yeah. You were
Like-
telling about your wonderful time in China, right?
Oh yeah, that was really nice because I basically
I meant sarcastically.
yeah, no, I had a good time, you know, not having any access to
Yeah.
anything. And I knew, like, I've heard like there's nothing there in the sense of like there's no WhatsApp or Instagram, but like when you're there you don't realize how there's nothing. Like nothing, no Google, no YouTube, and you just sit there
Doing nothing.
doing nothing. And I can do nothing. I'm good at just doing nothing, but that was a different kind because you can't.
But
you know,
people over there are, cut out from the other nations, right?
yeah, like the crazy thing is I realized
I can't
that
have a Chinese friend.
you can, but like even like one of the factory owners that I was speaking to, he like anyone that traveled, they know a little bit more, but still like he found certain things really fascinating just because he wasn't aware that it's possible. Or like the girls, his assistants that I spoke to a little bit, they knew less English, they didn't know all about a lot of things, and I was like, yeah, like this is like normal or not aware, but just because they don't get to watch anything or consume, it's interesting.
As I was telling, there is no YouTube, nothing. So
And no podcasts, you won't be able to.
there would be podcast, maybe some local podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Local. This.
Yes,
That
even
you
there-
listen about China, you just
and
talk
even there
about
it's like
China and praise China.
Yeah, exactly. That's because, like, imagine if you don't have knowledge or access to what's out there, so then you're limited in your mind of what you know. So that's all you're going to be conversing, which is, it was very interesting. And also when they go out like to drink and stuff like that, they don't really talk much. Like the social is very different. Like they go socializing, but they don't converse so much.
So if you want anything on the other table, hey man, I want this, so it pass on.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but I still like, I found it really fascinating when I asked them also all the questions, because they have really interesting like history, but still like it was still, the conversations were very different.
But why like selecting China as a manufacturing unit over there with all these restrictions and all?
Yeah, so they have a big area when it comes to wigs. They have really advanced like skills in the sense of like how they do it. It's still very much the same. So like the way I make my wigs compared to a lot of people is very different. So the details in it is what's different, which is why when I go there, what I ask for them, they have to get like different workers to kind of do it. But if you think about the other part, like the regular way to make it, it's massive. Like most people send it to their, they also have a lot of like kind of like here, they use Chinese hair that they process, not as good quality as here. And they process it and they sell it like that. Like they're similar to the ones from India, but still a different market, but they're massive. Like there's so many.
Is it just technology or cost effectiveness?
No, so cost effective, yes, it's more expensive there than compared to here, and time takes longer there, but the quality is better there. Like in the sense of what they know, like from the information of how you do things. So here I found some good, but like I spoke to someone in Mumbai that does like toppers mostly, and like the lace that you get is very hard to find, like the good quality one. So he also goes to China, gets the material, comes back and makes it here. So it depends. I think it's just because it's upcoming. So, but it was really interesting when I went to China. There's so many factories there.
I'm curious like how the business, UK entrepreneurship is not much talked of. Maybe it is talked, it has not come through to me yet still. But what are the restrictions you face there, which is lenient or which is easier or which is easy there?
I see. You mean as
in terms of business, and
yes,
mainly I would say is taxes also, because people feel taxes are more here. And then I was just researching, I saw Denmark taxes are like 50%, and here we are paying like 18%.
Yes, so it's really high in England. But I would say, I think when you think about it in a bigger picture, so like let's say here, even when I was doing research on the companies of wigs here in India and in the UK, so I think the consumers are very different. So the consumers that you have here, the consumers that you have in the UK are different. So you're going to adjust your business based on that. You can make more money in different ways. So like even here, the way you advertise here and the way you advertise in the UK, it wouldn't work because, and again, it's like also even if you use social media, even the way you talk as a business. So when it comes to entrepreneurship and like even having a business, thinking about taxes, thinking about how you sell your products, even thinking like I have 50% of my clients are in the UK and 50% are worldwide. So that's like a whole nother aspect, because there's like about importing and exporting and how that works with deliveries. It's all been a lot of learning, but I will say like I think it really depends on your business. It depends on what you want. And I think when it comes to business in this place, the best thing for anyone in any one location is to have intention, what you want to do. And I feel like that's really hard to do as a business, because even when I contacted you for this trip and I said to you, I have all of this stuff to do, right? I said to you, like, I have this and this. I'm aware that we're not going to be able to do all of it because, we have a time. But when I get here, we'll discuss it. We'll go through. So setting those intentions takes time. And so like I've learned from the past, I've never used to do that. I used to just be like, I'm just going to go. Like even last time I came, I was like, can we do a shoot tomorrow? Like that was a year ago. Now I have to set up all these systems and to have this intention. Even if I'm aware that the intention will change, the second you start writing down, you realize what's possible, what's not, based on your location, on your consumer, on your socials, what's sustainable. That's like a major thing. So like even with social media, there's so many ideas I want to do, right, in showing my stuff, but am I gonna sustain it? Am I your podcast?
Yeah.
like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with taxes, same thing with like the idea of what you want for your business. You have to really, you have to try, but like if you have all the things you have to do, how do you fit everything in? The more intention you have, so if you have to pay a lot of taxes in the UK, how do you work around that? Here you have benefits that you have to pay less taxes, but what are the areas?
What is the percentage like?
I think it's like 21, but it depends. That's one part.
Not much of a difference, right?
But
you're paying 18, it is 21.
But then there's the corporation tax, which is another 20, so it's like 40. So it depends, and like, okay, so I'll give you an example. Let's say in the UK compared to even America. So because I do a lot of things on social media, and so I do a lot of things that connect in that area. So when it comes to expenses, when I speak to my accountant and she's English and she knows a lot about it, but still England functions in a certain way that it's a gray area when it comes to influencers. So like if I'm, let's say, doing a shoot, right, and I'm the model doing it with the wig, whatever, so I'm suddenly a model, I'm the content creator, I'm this. So how do you do that with your taxes? That has been very interesting because that's a gray area. But let's say in America, because there's more influencers, or in the UK it's starting, then there's going to be more like information on this. I would say that's like the difficult part, not knowing where to go, and just go, just try. But intention definitely helps in that.
We were talking about UK business and culture. So basically, I'm like, in India, we see a lot of startups coming up,
Yeah.
Every third person is trying to getting done with, working for someone else and trying to start up. So how is the startup culture over there? Is it like...
It's very similar. People are like giving things a go. I would say like, because in London, there's different people living there. So not only English people, you get even more of a variety, but online, like a lot of things are online startups. So like if they're doing a startup, it's not necessarily an in-person one. Like, oh, I'm going to open a business. It's like you says, like, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do this online. I'm going to sell this product. A lot of like, they do have that, like I'll make this product and I'll sell it online. I'm not having a store or anything like that. Maybe not as big as you guys have here, because I know, because now it's a bit new, isn't it? It's like new to have to do a startup.
You must have seen Shark Tank, right?
Yeah.
There are so many startups coming in.
Oh, but so Shark Tank, I haven't seen the India one, but like, is that a very popular show? And they like it.
Yeah.
So how do you start up here? Like if you want to do, is it easy to just create your own business here?
There are like a lot of things you have to take care. You have to decide first, right? Whether you're going to on a product based or a service based.
And if you do, like, can you just
you need capital, right?
Yeah.
People search on YouTube how to start a business with zero capital.
Yeah. They do that also in London. That's also like,
yeah,
you have to. But if anything, I know when I started, so I did my bespoke for a while, which is just one-on-one kind of making. When I said to myself, I'm going to do this online, I didn't know how to do that. I learned everything on YouTube. I just listened to people, and I was like, oh my God, like this kid, I'm watching like this kid on YouTube. He's doing this business, like that's so impressive. I was like, how does he do it? And that's basically how I learned a lot, because I didn't know anything about e-com. Even my courses that I do online, that's because I saw this other kid. I keep saying kid, like, because they're like 19 years old, like 20, and they're so cool. Like they're just doing things and they just learn. And I'm like, okay, they can do this, then I can do it.
You feel that FOMO, and then you like.
I just didn't know it's possible. I was like,
that kid, again.
Kid. I was like, he's doing, and the way he's talking and the way he's knowledgeable about this. And I was like, so the more I listen to on YouTube, the more I'm like, okay, YouTube, how do you do this? How do you do? I mean, now it's ChatGPT, but like, yeah, that's massive. But I think that's amazing, because when I grew up, when I was a kid, there was no such thing. I mean, not that I knew of. So I didn't know that it's possible to have your own business. Not that I even wanted to, but I didn't know that you can just do that. So I think YouTube's great for the kids.
But then why have you thought of tapping in the Indian market? Yeah,
so when I was here last year,
or you're just thinking and I'm just spilling the beans out.
No. So if you think about like what I do is like wigs, right? And I used to do a lot more things. So I used to do a lot of like alterations, extensions, toppers. And when I got, and this is again about business in the sense of I got to a point that you don't have time for everything. So I had a choice I slowly had to cut things. I didn't do it on purpose. I was like, okay, I don't have time, so I won't do this. I won't do alterations. I won't do toppers. I won't do for other companies. I'll just do, like, that's how it got down to one item, which is a wig. Even like the wig, I had to cut down a lot of the way I do it because I wanted to get this right. So once I know how to do all the other things, so like once I do this right, then I'll do the other things. Because the other things are actually just parts of it. So if you think about the wig, which is if this has a lace top, this has wefts, and it's like a base, right? When I make this, I make it in parts. I make wefts. I do the lace separately. I do the cap separately. So when I have my own factory and everything's flowing, everything's already done. So when the second that's all ready, I can then do extensions. I can do toppers without actually having to do anything. That was basically, so like let's say India, even though wigs is really big in India as well, which I didn't know. When it comes to the extension toppers, which is big here, and also again they sell it different to the consumer. We'll get there at that point, but it's another whole business. It's very separate. But yeah.
But you haven't started yet, right? From
No.
India.
I mean, I have clients from India, but just.
But how do you go about researching different areas, right? Whether wig will work here? Maybe if you think of going to Africa,
Yeah.
how do you research over there?
Yeah, so I would say it's slightly different because in the past 3 years I've had like the demand there. So I've never done like research on where I want to sell. It's kind of like whoever, like the people are there. I think I told you, I was like, I try to stay away from advertising at the moment. So the only reason I know about India is because I had to do research when I came for the factories, and again, they do it differently here. So I didn't even know. So if I would research Africa, I think it would be a different market. Even the States, like the US and Australia, those are pretty big, but different.
But was it like Chennai? You had gone just to explore Chennai and then you thought of checking the manufacturing, or it was vice versa?
Okay, so no, I went first to Chennai because from my Instagram I get a lot of messages from China and people in India like, oh, buy my buy my hair, buy my product. So I started doing research on factories in Chennai only, not in Mumbai at all. And so I just did factories. Then when I came here that first time, I went to about 20 factories, and I realized what it's like and how things are in the sense of people selling to wholesale or selling it as like to consumers. In Chennai, it's mostly wholesale. Then I came here 2 other times just for the Chennai. Then that didn't work out. That didn't end up working out. So then I said, okay, let me look at Mumbai. And so then I started searching Mumbai, and I saw how many people are actually buying as a consumer, which I didn't know. Toppers and laces, for also toupees for men. Like that's a really big one. Not like this, like the ones that they glue on. Like that's really big here. I've seen also like actors in Bollywood. They do a lot in that area. So I did research when I tried to find if there's anything in Mumbai, and
toppers, just the short ones.
Yeah, so it's like a small piece that either you clip on, or for men usually you glue on.
But apart from actors, are there people who are buying it?
Yeah, so like I think one of the places I spoke to in Mumbai. I
think men will be searching hair fall solutions rather than.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So the men here for hair loss is really big, but they don't talk about it. Like even the woman one, it's not like a conversation so much. And so here they'll search hair loss, and
they'll search supplements and hair transplant and
that's
all
usually,
those stuff.
And that's usually like the first things they do. But a lot of people then go to toupees, but it's still under hair loss treatments, like the toupees. But some of them I've seen are pretty good. And one of the guys I spoke to in Mumbai that he does it, he kind of went through a little bit how he does it, and it's basically they come in, they make like a custom one, and every 3 months they switch it. So they glue it on, and then 3 months later they take it off, put it on, and nobody knows. And it looks pretty good. But it's still not considered like a wig. It's considered a hair loss solution type.
Just marketing it that way, right?
Yes.
This is not a wig. This is a hair.
Yes.
We are providing you solutions.
Yes, exactly. Even when I went online for the women's side, a lot of it's to do with cancer. Not even alopecia. So like, let's say in the US or the UK it's alopecia. Here it was cancer. So it's a lot of things of like they're talking about first the
Noble cause.
Yeah.
You know, it's for the noble cause. And
yeah. So it's very different. But I would say like even most of my clientele are like people that have hair loss, and but still where I do it a little bit different is that I promote actually hair. I promote different styles. I'm concentrating on different options because it's all about identity. So like when you put this on, right? It's not how you usually see yourself. And then you put this on and you feel slightly different, even though it's still empowered. Hair's empowering, yes. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
It is, right? Imagine you also like walk around and you suddenly get this like feeling. It is like and when I switch my hair, so when I wear this one, then I wear my dark one, I feel empowered in different ways. Yeah. And I started noticing how much identity is around it. So that's basically what I promote. That's what I talk about. That's where I'm going towards. Because that means it's for anybody. With hair, without hair, short hair, long hair.
But then have you like promoted as I told you, like it's for the noble cause or for this?
Yeah, I don't do that. Because even though obviously I'm sensitive towards people that have situations, but because it's not what it's about in the sense, even for their own person, everyone has their own individual journey with their hair loss. So it means something else to somebody going through either cancer or alopecia, or even I have clients that have a lot of hair, but to them it's half the amount they had before. So they automatically feel that they don't see themselves. So if they feel that way, it's all about identity. So if it's about identity, when a client comes to me, it's like I need to understand how she sees herself. So she'll look in the mirror, I'll see something because I don't know her, and I can recommend, oh, this wig would look really nice on you. But if I do that, then I won't understand what she sees. So what I do is I speak to her to find out, and it's not like an obvious thing. So I'll just start conversation. If someone's in the room with her, like if her sister, her mom, her partner, that changes also dynamic. Yeah. So I have to be aware of that. The pictures she chooses to show me also don't necessarily represent what she's referring to. So a lot of the questions are based on understanding how she sees herself. And once I understand how she sees herself, then I can create it. And the feeling that I get when I finish creating this piece for her, and then she puts it on, and watching her have this feeling of seeing herself again, that pushes me to really understand the person. Because if she, for whatever reason, feels like she can't see herself, and then suddenly she sees herself. Like
there are tailors in India, when you go to check the outfit and all, no, the tailor will be like, you're looking like the best, anything you wear, because he has to sell it, right?
Yes.
So he'll be like, bye, you're looking the best. So does that happen, or you are like, no, this won't look good, this will look good?
Yeah. Okay, I see what you mean. Yeah. I was like,
or you will be like, chalo, all these three are looking good on you, yes. You can select anyone and you can just take it off. This is the bill, okay?
Right,
I am invoicing it. Chalo, I will pack it and will give it to you.
I maybe should do that. I don't do that because, first of all, imagine with girls, it's like playing dress up. So if I tell a girl she gets to be like a Barbie for like the 5 different ones, and they'll probably look good, she will get all of them, and that's good. Yeah, it's good. It is good, but I can't do that. I can't do that because I know how I feel with having so many wigs. It is fun. I get to just dress up and have different characters, and I think that's lovely for a lot of people. But most of the people, I think the thing about wigs is that you need to like wearing it. You have to be comfortable with it. And the first thing I usually do is like get a wig that's like very similar to what you had or what you have, so you feel yourself once you kind of get used to it, then you can start exploring different ones.
Yeah.
So I do give a lot of my opinions, but it's usually professional opinions in the sense of like the structure of their face, or like if they tell me it's really important for me that it looks really good when I'm working, and so I'll give them their opinion there. Because if I say this is really nice, they'll just get it. I know that's what usually people do. Do you buy all the suits when he says?
Then you feel like because the lighting and all is set really well there, and then you would opt out for which then you come home and you see that lighting and you're like, what shit.
So how do you feel? So I don't want that. That's basically what I avoid. I don't want the customer to go home and be like, it looked so good there, and then when I'm here I just not managing, and that happens. So no, but I see why businesses do that, because they can. But when you're explaining to your clients, do you go very technical and stuff so that they don't... I feel bad sometimes because I can see I also have a lot of knowledge of the wig and what it is, and if I go on because I'm obsessed, then I realize at some point she's not understanding what I'm saying, and I have to bring it back and do one thing at a time, explain it. But yes, I do get very, and also like what's really important to me, and I think this for any business, is that if I have a customer coming in and she wants long hair and she wants short hair, right? So she's sitting in the chair, I want long and I want short, and I understood that. Okay, you want long and short, but you have to pick one, right? You literally have to pick one. And so if I got that in her mind, she for some reason thinks she can have both in one wig. You know how we get as humans, delusional kind of vibe. So I will be very strict on making her pick one. That doesn't come off so softly sometimes, and it's from experience. You must have this also with your clients. Like if I had a client come in and she wants, okay, so if you look at my hair, I have dark roots and I have like blonde hair, right? If I come in and I show you 3 pictures, one like this, one all blonde, one all dark, and I say I really like all of these, right? And I'm like, I like them all too, but like which one do you want for this wig? And they won't choose. So I say to them,
they're like, all 3 are good, I have money, take the money.
No, they no, they want all 3 in one. Do you not get this? That like
I got it.
And like, so how do you, like, if somebody says to you, no, like in your business, right? If somebody says they want sharp and blurry, but you can't do both. I mean, you can offer some that are both. Like, how do you tell?
We also get like this, we want the very high service at this price. You can't have both, right?
Exactly.
You can't have this margin.
So how do you
have to explain them, we can't have that, or we have to send them, this is what you will get. These are what you'll get in this budget, or
so when I'm aware of that, I make it even more like important to be like, do you understand? Because if you say it once, they will still think they're getting both. No? And then you have issues.
Later on you'll have the issues
so
when you're delivering the work.
So that's why in the beginning I do come off. Like when I was doing the website in the beginning, and my web developer, like the team to create the website, they basically reached out to some of my clients, kind of to get some feedback of how the process is on their side. One of the meetings we had after that was that I'm very controlling, that like the clients think I'm very controlling of the situation in a good way, in a bad way. So like controlling to me, like when they said that, I started laughing because I was like, I know what they're talking about. I know that they're referring to me being like really strict about things, about like, you can have this, but you're not going to get this. You can have this, but this is going to be your outcome. Like, are you going to accept it? And so after that, I try to soften a little bit. Like I had a customer recently. She couldn't decide if she wants, because you have to choose what side parting, side or center. She couldn't decide which one she wanted. And so there, it's very important. I can give my professional opinion. I can say, what have you had till now? So she said she had the side one. So automatically I would say, like, based on experience, based on previous like clients, the people that had side ones, they went for side, and because they would usually just go like this. And then she couldn't decide. She went back and forth, and then she ended up deciding on the center. They both look good on her, and I can't do anything at that point, right? So we made it to the center, and then this is months later, because it takes a few months. She comes and she keeps doing this and she looks at me, and I know what she's thinking, and she knows that it was a very special moment, that she's like, okay. So when that happens, I feel for the client, because she's gonna have to pay to change that, but at the same time, there's a limit to how much I can say. But you definitely have this style, which can be tricky.
We were talking about your client. Before that, I'll just get to my actual
your hair
thing. That's enough for the 100th episode. People should know at least, because my side profile isn't coming in that one.
They would like to recognize you. Well done. Okay. That's good.
So this and the band, right? Somewhere.
Did it come off already?
I think it came off.
Okay, good, perfect.
came off, right?
How's your
Feels
freedom?
light.
Yeah, freedom, right?
Why are you laughing? Like
Because you looked really good with the long hair, and it's like I can see how it's shifted. How do you feel? Less empowered?
less empowering now. Now I have to wait like how much time will it take for
way longer,
way
like
longer,
a few
right?
years.
2 years, 3 years.
3 years, yeah. But like 3 years of like in between is not so much fun. But how does it feel? Do you feel like naked without it?
That only I had something like the vision coming up, right? Something. So people should know, right? With
Yeah. Are you gonna miss
the
it?
reality.
Yeah, there
a lot
is.
until I see the episode out.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna be like, this is so nice.
Yeah.
Like, but it's also because it's when it's even on you, you kind of feel different. You do hold yourself different, right?
You have one extension to your
Self.
Oh, see my hair. That's my extension.
Yes, exactly. But I think like, let's say like makeup, outfits, like clothes, tattoos are a bit more official, but like you can keep changing them, right? Like even the makeup, I can have like an evening look or a day look, right? Or no makeup. With hair, even your own hair, if you color it, you're committed. If you cut it, you're committed. If you grow it, you're committed. When it comes to wigs, you suddenly aren't committed. It's very interesting. It feels like that whole makeup, like outfit, it's like a mood, right? So when you get dressed in the morning, I'm in the mood to wear dark clothes. I'm in the mood to wear light clothes. That's fun, you know, because you get to play. With hair, you don't always, like, do you change your hair? Not really. It's a commitment.
Yeah.
So when you suddenly have wigs, and that's what I mean, it's like playing dress up like Barbie. It's too fun. But like, it's a new area for people.
And it's not much of you just put a band and you just.
Yeah, like the band. Oh, yeah. How's the band?
It was good. Meaning not much of hassle putting it.
Yes.
I realized.
Yeah, you don't
I
need
thought
much.
it was like a lot
Clips.
of setup, but then it was just you just wear it like a.
Yeah, so most wigs are either, so you have glueless wigs, which is like this without glue, or that you need to glue it. So the ones that you need to put like that bald cap, and then you have to put glue, and then you put it on, and then there's a lot of pins as well. It's a lot of setup, usually by a hairstylist. When it's glueless like this, you need something to secure it. So either clips inside, which is like toppers, or like a band that creates that friction so it doesn't move, basically. If you have hair or not hair, that's basically. But if you don't have hair, you can't clip it into anything. So it really does depend. But yeah, easy, like put on, take off.